Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we're tracking severe weather over the next couple of days for multiple areas here for later today, tomorrow, and also for Wednesday, as well maybe possibly to Thursday for some places. We'll see about Thursday. We won't really get too much detail on Thursday. There's some uncertainties out there, but we'll be more focused on really Tuesday and Wednesday, especially Wednesday. Wednesday could be the big day. So let's go ahead and get started with the SPC outlook here. Yeah, as you can see here, we do have a slight risk for severe weather for portions of central and southern Minnesota. No tornado threat for today, which is good news, but there is a wind and hail risk for that setup. Not going to be too much of a deal with that setup there, so you can have some severe thunderstorms that could produce damaging winds and also for some hail. Not too big of a deal. Then you got a marginal risk for severe weather for northwestern Wisconsin, uh, which also goes back down all the way down into central Nebraska, northwestern Iowa, and also for southeastern South Dakota as well under that margin risk. Again, not too big of a deal today. Tomorrow, we got slight risk for severe weather for south central and southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and also for southwest central Missouri as well. And you also get the margin risk for just some of the surrounding areas as well. The tornado threat is there. It's going to be kind of a low end tornado threat, but wind and hail will also be there as well. Definitely got to watch for the wind and hail threat as well. So let's kind of get into a little bit more detail with Tuesday because it's looking interesting. Now I want to look into the HER, but I do not have pinpoint soundings at this time for the HER model because on, well, this side here does not have pinpoint soundings, but on the Pitiful Weather, they're having some issues over there right now, so we cannot use Pitiful Weather for right now, at least for the HER model, because it's outdated. So we're at to use College of DuPage here without the pinpoint soundings. But you can see here later today, you got some thunderstorms popping up across portions of Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. Not too big of a deal. But then as you kind of get into Tuesday night here, you get some big thunderstorms that develop really for east central Nebraska and also down across central Kansas as well. And these storms have the chance to produce all hazards as well with this setup. You can see here, you even got a nasty Boeing segment right there with that thunderstorm as well. And also to keep in mind, guys, that there is going to be a cap in place. It's just really going to depend on if we could get any surface-based storms. If we do, there's going to be an all-hazard chance for any of these storms, which that means damaging winds, hail, and also for the chance for an isolated tornado for within some of those storms as well. So definitely keep an eye on that, and then it kind of dies out as it kind of gets into Missouri and Iowa. So let's check out these significant tornado parameters, and you can see here it's not going to show up that good. But you can see here you do have a decent area for some significant tornado parameters right in here. You got numbers as high as a 3 in some places, so there is going to be a tornado threat. It is, well, the environment will be favorable for tornadoes. The significant tornado threat, I think it's going to stay low with this setup here, but it's definitely something to watch here. So for anybody that lives in central Kansas, definitely got to watch out for Tuesday night. Definitely a pretty decent tornado threat for central Kansas. Well, check out the updraft velocity here. This kind of gives me an idea of where we could have some rotating thunderstorms possibly. You can see here, central Kansas, especially when you get to those yellow colors, there may be a possibility for some stronger rotation within some of these thunderstorms here. Even for green areas in the green here with some of these thunderstorms here, yes, there could be a chance for some rotating thunderstorms there. But really, when you get to the yellow, there's a little better probability. You can see here we got the chance for some rotating thunderstorms down across central Kansas. So it's definitely something to watch for central Kansas. there as well. So that's Tuesday night's threat. Let's move on to Wednesday's threat. You got slackers for severe weather across most of Arkansas, northern Louisiana, northern Mississippi, and also for northeast of Texas. Now, I honestly have to disagree with this forecast here. I did make my own forecast, and I'll show you guys why I disagree with this forecast. Almost altogether, really. Well, not completely altogether, but I feel like they're missing out on some areas for some areas in here. So let's check out the models here for day 3, which is Wednesday. So let's check out the NAM. And as you can see here, we're going to have a pretty strong low somewhere around Iowa in here and maybe northern Missouri. And you can see our 998 millibar low. That's a pretty strong low there. Well, a decently strong low, I should say. And you can see here, especially when we got to pay attention to Iowa. That's definitely an area we have to pay attention to, where we have the chance for some supercells along an occluded front, uh, which may have a chance for all hazards for some of those supercells up there as well. So we definitely need to watch for Iowa up there. And then as you kind of get into the Mississippi River valleys, you got a squall line of storms kind of going on in the Mississippi River for eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois. And it's off the screen, but it also goes back down into northern Louisiana as well. And as we kind of continue on here, that squall line does expand into a little bit more of Louisiana. So you kind of see where these thunderstorms are kind of outside the slight risk, and these areas here do have a pretty favorable, decent environment here for some severe weather. Which, in my case here, I think the slight risk should get expanded further north here, and I think everybody will agree on that. And then as you kind of get into Thursday morning, those storms do die out as they kind of get into a little bit more to central Kentucky, central Tennessee, and even for northern Alabama as well. Yeah, we may need to watch for Thursday as well, especially in this zone in here. May need to watch those areas in there, and maybe even getting out into the Carolinas as well. May need to watch for severe weather threat. But there is too much uncertainty. We don't have a whole lot of models out there right now, so we won't really get too much detail into Thursday as of right now. But let's check out some of these ingredients here. Of course, there's going to be, well, you guys haven't seen it, but I could tell you guys this though. There is going to be a strong, well, not really a strong low level jet, but a low level jet is going to be there. So that's going to help kind of increase the tornado probability. But here's your significant tornado parameters, and you can see here, northeastern Arkansas may be your area here to watch here. At least that's what the NAM indicates here. If we check out northeastern Arkansas, this is a pretty good sounding here. And you can see here, you got a pretty good hodograph up here. You also got a pretty good critical angle number. You got elevated mixed layer a little bit further north here. That's going to help kind of keep the air a little bit more unstable up there. There is going to be stronger lap rates earlier in the day. When you get to the overnight hours, those lap rates do back off. So we'll have some strong mid-level lap rates earlier in the day here. So this is kind of getting into the evening hours. You got a good amount of cape in place as well, especially surfacely spaced. Good amount of storm rate to felicity numbers, and also a good amount of wind shear as well. So this is a pretty good environment here for really all hazards in here. So wind, hail, and possibly for an isolated tornado. So it's a favorable setup there as well. You can see here as we kind of get to the overnight hours, your tornado threat does decrease, but your wind risk may continue overnight as well. So don't let your guard down for the wind threat, but the tornado threat should decrease as you kind of get into the overnight hours as well. But definitely the area to watch for severe weather, especially for the tornado probability, may need to be this zone in here. Northeastern Arkansas, even back down across central Arkansas, western Tennessee, southeastern Missouri, several Illinois, maybe into southwestern Kentucky as well. Will probably be the areas to watch here that may have a better probability to see some severe weather for Wednesday evening. We'll check out the GFS real quick as well. The NAM's not the only one that has, it's not the only model that shows that. You can see here with the GFS model here, it doesn't really show an organized lineup here, but I think it's going to have a little hard time with that. It's been kind of going back and forth a little bit. Organized squad line, non-organized, but I think there's going to be an organized squad line here. Plus, GFS is a medium range model, so it's not really a high resolution model. But it still shows a pretty decent squall line of storms off the screen here again for northern Mississippi and the eastern Arkansas as well. Plus, you got some pretty good thunderstorms up across Iowa there and southern Minnesota, back down across western Illinois as well. Definitely got to watch for those areas as well for the potential for all hazards as well. And then your squall line does dissipate as it kind of gets into the lower Ohio Valley region. And then you gotta watch for Friday night. Well, not Friday night. Thursday night does show the possibility for some showers and thunderstorms. It does show a decent environment for severe weather, but again, it's just gonna be something to watch for now. I'm gonna wait to see what the NAM shows because it does not really get that far out just yet. But again, it's just gonna be something to watch at this point here for Kentucky, Tennessee, back down across the south as well. So here's my day 3 severe weather outlook, and again, this is not an SPC forecast, just to keep in mind of that. But you can see here, I do have a slight risk for severe weather for central and eastern Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana, northern Mississippi, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, several Illinois, and also for southeastern Missouri as well. Southeastern Missouri, I meant to say. Marginal risk does expand all the way up into central Iowa there. Again, all hazards are possible for areas up there as well. Now, marginal risk does back down across central Missouri, western Arkansas, back down to eastern Texas, the northern half of Louisiana, back down across south central Mississippi. Does include northwestern Alabama as well, and also for southwestern Indiana as well in that marginal risk area. And again, all hazards are possible for most of these areas in here. And I'll go a little bit more specific on things here. So for the wind probability, we'll put it in blue, pretty much for everybody in this zone in here. Does have a pretty good probability for some wind, so that's the 15%. Then the hail, which we'll do it in red. So for the hail threat, that's probably going to be a little bit more focused, probably west of the Mississippi River. And for the tornado probability, I think it's going to be a little bit more focused across these areas right in here for your tornado probability. So for really the area to watch for all hazards for severe weather, it's just really looking to be south central Missouri and really for central Arkansas. If I was a storm chaser, I would probably target probably somewhere in central Arkansas. I think that's a pretty good area for all hazards, especially for that tornado threat. So, but things could change. Keep in mind that things could change here for day 3. This is a Wednesday and today is Monday. So again, it's just gonna be something to watch for now. But anyways, guys, that's all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, like this video, hit that like button. If you're ready to like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.